Hello and welcome to the Awakening Podcast, part of the Bridges to Prosperity series. I am your host, Kelvin Peary. Zambia has voted. And as I record this podcast, the electoral process is still underway. Votes are being counted, verified and declared, and across the country, Zambians are following the results with great interest, anticipation, and understandably strong emotions. This is one of those important moments in the life of our nation. It is a moment when political differences can become sharper, rumors can spread quickly, and uncertainty can sometimes create fear and anxiety. But it is also a moment when we as Zambians have an opportunity to demonstrate the strength of our democracy, the maturity of our people, and our commitment to the peace and unity that this country has worked so hard to preserve. And that is why today I want to speak from the heart. I don't want to talk about who is winning. I don't want to talk about who is losing. I don't want to analyze political parties, individual constituencies, or percentages. Today, I simply want to talk about Zambia, our country, because regardless of what happens during this electoral process and regardless of who ultimately wins or loses, there is one truth that must remain above everything else. Zambia is bigger than all of us. But before we begin, let me give a brief disclaimer. The views expressed in this podcast are my personal views and are shared in the spirit of promoting peace, national unity, and responsible democratic participation. Whatever our individual political preferences may be, this particular episode is not an endorsement of any candidate, political party, or electoral outcome. It is a call for peace, patience, national unity, and respect for Zambia's constitutional and democratic processes. At the time of recording, the electoral process is still underway. Any official election results should therefore be verified directly through the Electoral Commission of Zambia and other authorized official channels. My message today is simply this: whatever our political differences, Zambia is bigger than all of us. Let us remain peaceful, reject violence and misinformation, respect the democratic process, and remember that when the election is over, we will still have one country and one people, one Zambia, one nation. Zambia has voted. As I record this podcast, Zambia has voted, and the process of counting, verification, and declaration of results is continuing. Naturally, emotions are high. People are watching television. People are following social media. WhatsApp groups are extremely busy. Numbers are flying everywhere. Claims are being made. Counterclaims are being made. There is excitement, there is anxiety, there is fear, and unfortunately, there is also misinformation. But in the middle of all this noise, I want us to remember one very simple thing. Zambia is bigger than any one of us. Zambia is bigger than any political party. Zambia is bigger than any candidate. Zambia is bigger than any president. Zambia is bigger than the government of the day. Zambia is bigger than the opposition. And Zambia is certainly bigger than you and me. Governments will come. Governments will go. Presidents will come. Presidents will go. Political parties will rise and political parties will fall. Elections will come and elections will go. But when all of that is finished, there is one thing that we must still have: our country, and there is only one Zambia. We must never take peace for granted, my fellow Zambians. Sometimes when you have lived with something for a very long time, you can begin to believe that it will always be there, and that can be dangerous. For decades, Zambia has built a reputation as one of Africa's relatively peaceful and politically stable nations. That is an inheritance we should never take for granted. We have disagreed politically. We have argued. We have had highly competitive elections. We have changed governments. We have changed presidents. We have experienced difficult economic and political periods. But through those transitions, Zambia has remained standing. Some of us have lived through different political eras of our country. We remember the First Republic. We remember the Second Republic. And we have lived through the Third Republic. We have watched one president leave State House and another enter. We have watched political parties that once appeared unbeatable eventually lose elections. We have witnessed peaceful transfers of political power. And after all those elections, something important has always remained Zambia, because after every election, eventually we wake up and realize we are still neighbors. The person you argued politics with is still your neighbor. The person who voted differently from you is still your workmate. Your brother is still your brother. Your sister is still your sister. The market trader still needs customers. The farmer still needs to plant. The teacher still needs to teach. The nurse still needs to care for patients. The entrepreneur still needs to build a business. And Zambia still needs to move forward. That is why we cannot allow an election, something that happens periodically, to destroy relationships, communities, and institutions that have taken generations to build. My message to the young people, I particularly want to speak to the young people of Zambia. My brothers and sisters, do not allow anybody to use you to destroy your own country. It doesn't matter which political party is asking you. It doesn't matter which politician is speaking. Think before you act. Ask yourself, when the excitement of this election is over, where will I live? Zambia. Where will your parents live? Zambia. Where will your brothers and sisters live? Zambia. Where will your children grow up? Zambia. So why would we destroy the very country that we will need tomorrow? And if somebody encourages you to become violent, ask yourself a very important question. Are their own children standing beside you? If somebody tells you to attack another Zambian because of politics, ask yourself what happens when the election is finished. Because elections come and elections go. But Zambia remains. The consequences of instability and the consequences of losing peace are not something to joke about. We have seen what instability has done in other parts of our continent and around the world. Once peace is lost, restoring it can be incredibly difficult. So disagree, campaign, challenge ideas, support your candidate, participate in democracy. But never allow politics to convince you to destroy Zambia. There is no political victory worth the loss of a Zambian life, and there is no election result worth destroying the peace that generations of Zambians have worked to preserve. Let our institutions do their work. At this particular moment, the institution given the mandate to manage our electoral process is the Electoral Commission of Zambia. We must allow the process to be completed. Now, that doesn't mean citizens cannot ask questions. Of course we can. That doesn't mean our institutions are above scrutiny. They are not. It doesn't mean political parties cannot raise legitimate concerns. They can. And it doesn't mean that every Zambian must agree with every decision made by our institutions. That is not democracy. But where there are disagreements, let us use the institutions, laws, and constitutional processes that Zambia has established. Because irrespective of what we may think about our institutions at any particular moment, these are our institutions, and we must continue strengthening them. Today you may be outside government. Tomorrow you may be inside government. Today a decision may favor your political opponent. Tomorrow the same institution may be protecting your democratic rights. Strong countries are not built around individuals. Strong countries are built around strong institutions. Democracy requires all of us to respect the process while preserving the right of every candidate, political party, and citizen to raise legitimate concerns through the constitutional and legal mechanisms available to them. Let the process work. Where there are legitimate concerns, challenge them peacefully and through the appropriate channels. That is how we strengthen democracy. The world is watching, and there is something else we must understand during this period. First and foremost, we owe peace to ourselves as Zambians. We protect our peace not because somebody outside Zambia is watching us, but because this is our country, our home, and our children's inheritance. But we should also remember that the world is watching how Zambia manages this process. Our neighbors are watching, Africa is watching, the international community is watching, investors are watching, potential investors are watching, and Zambians living across the diaspora are watching. But they are not only watching who wins this election, they are watching how Zambia manages this process. That is extremely important. Be careful with social media, and my fellow Zambians, please be careful with what you forward. Not Not everything appearing on WhatsApp is true. Not every Facebook post represents an official result. Not every TikTok video tells the whole story. Not every voice note circulating on your phone has been verified. Not every screenshot showing figures is genuine. During a sensitive period like this, misinformation can be extremely dangerous. Before you press that forward button, ask yourself, is this true? Where did this information come from? Has it been verified? Could sharing this create unnecessary fear, anger, or tension? Because one false message can travel through thousands of phones within minutes. Sometimes maintaining peace is as simple as deciding, I am not forwarding this until I know that it is true. We all have a responsibility. Peace is not maintained only by the police. Peace is not maintained only by the Electoral Commission. Peace is not maintained only by political leaders. Peace is maintained by ordinary Zambians, by you, by me, by what we say, by what we post, by what we forward, and sometimes importantly, by what we choose not to forward. One Zambia, one nation. There is a reason these words have survived generations. One Zambia, one nation. Those are not merely words we repeat during national events. They represent an idea, different tribes, different languages, different provinces, different political opinions, different backgrounds, but one country. Whether you are Bemba, Tonga, Lozi, Ngoni, Kaonde, Lunda, Luvale, Tumbuka, or from any of Zambia's many communities, we belong to the same nation. Your political party does not make you more Zambian than somebody else. Your tribe does not make you more Zambian than somebody else. The province you come from does not make you more Zambian than somebody else. And the candidate you voted for does not make you more Zambian than somebody who voted differently. When all the campaign colors are removed, what remains? Zambia. We are Zambians first, and that national identity must be bigger than our political differences. When the final result comes, eventually this process will reach its conclusion. Someone will celebrate, someone will be disappointed. That is inevitable in every election. But whoever wins inherits responsibility. They do not inherit ownership of Zambia. Zambia does not belong to a president. It does not belong to a political party. Zambia belongs to Zambians, and whoever loses the election does not cease to be Zambian. Those who win must govern with humility. Those who lose must continue participating constructively in our democracy. Citizens must continue holding their leaders accountable. And then, my fellow Zambians, we must get back to work, because the morning after the election, our challenges will still be there. Jobs must be created. Businesses must grow. Farmers must produce. Children must go to school. Hospitals must function. Infrastructure must be built. Our minds must produce. Our entrepreneurs must innovate. Our young people need opportunities. Our economy needs investment. And Zambia needs all of us. Peace has economic value. This is something that we sometimes overlook. Peace itself has economic value. When an investor looks at Zambia, they don't only look at copper. They don't only look at our minerals. They don't only look at the exchange rate. They don't only look at taxes. They also ask, is this country stable? Can I invest here for the next 10, 20, or 30 years? Will my employees be safe? Can my business operate? Will contracts be respected? Can I plan for tomorrow? Political stability is therefore part of Zambia's economic infrastructure. We should guard it in the same way that we guard our roads, our mines, our power stations, and our natural resources. Because when Zambia is peaceful and predictable, investors have confidence. When investors have confidence, businesses can grow. When businesses grow, employment can be created. But investment is not only about foreigners. We Zambians must also invest in Zambia. Those of us in the diaspora must continue looking at Zambia and asking, how can I participate? How can I bring my skills home? How can I bring knowledge home? How can I bring capital home? How can I build a business? How can I create employment? And our young people must be able to look at Zambia and believe that they can build their future here. That is how nations prosper. After politics, let us get back to building. And this is where I want to bring us back to to what Bridges to Prosperity is about. Politics matters, leadership matters, elections matter, but ultimately, prosperity is built by people getting up every morning and doing something productive, building businesses, building houses, building roads, growing food, teaching children, developing technology, creating companies, investing, innovating, taking risks, creating employment. After the political arguments are finished, somebody still has to build Zambia, and that somebody is us. We cannot spend the next 5 years fighting about an election that has already finished. At some point, we must put down the political banners, roll up our sleeves and say, now let's build. Whoever wins, let's get back to promoting Zambia. Let's get back to attracting investment. Let's get back to investing ourselves. Let's get back to creating jobs. Let's get back to encouraging entrepreneurship. Let's get back to innovation. Let's get back to agriculture. Let's get back to manufacturing. Let's get back to infrastructure. Let's get back to educating our children. Let's get back to building the Zambia that we all say we want. Choose Zambia. So wherever you are listening to me from today, Lusaka, Kitwe, Ndola, Chipata, Livingston, Kasama, Mongu, Solwezi, Mansa, Kabwe, or anywhere across our beautiful country, I have one request. Choose Zambia. Before your political party, choose Zambia. Before your candidate, choose Zambia. Before your tribe, choose Zambia. Before your anger, choose Zambia. Before forwarding that unverified WhatsApp message, choose Zambia. Let us allow the electoral process to reach its conclusion. Let us remain calm. Let us respect one another. Let us reject violence. Let us reject misinformation. Let us allow our institutions to perform their constitutional responsibilities. And when the final result comes, whatever that result may be, let us remember there will still be a Zambia tomorrow. And tomorrow morning we must get up and continue building it. The roads will still need building. The farms will still need investment. Our businesses will still need growing. Our children will still need educating. Our young people will still need jobs. Our country will still need investment. And Zambia will still need every single one of us. So let peace reign in our nation. Let wisdom prevail. Let democracy prevail. Let us show Africa and the world that political competition does not have to destroy national unity. Let us show the world that Zambia can conduct an election, disagree passionately, resolve our differences through our institutions, and still remain one nation. Because the world is not only watching who wins, the world is watching how we manage this process. And when this process is finished, let us emerge not as competing tribes, regions, or political camps, but once again as one people. Because ultimately there is only one country that we call home, Zambia. And Zambia is bigger than all of us. One Zambia, one nation. May God bless our people. May God protect our peace. May God strengthen our democracy. And may God bless the Republic of Zambia. I am Kelvin Piri, and this has been the Awakening Podcast, part of the Bridges to Prosperity series. Until next time, let us keep building bridges. Let us keep building prosperity. Let us keep protecting our peace. And above everything else, let us keep building Zambia. Thank you for listening.